What's going on, guys? This is episode 17 of the HSN Podcast. I'm here with Johnny. What's going on, Johnny?
Big week ahead, Michael. Actually, small week ahead. A big week next
Well,
week. A
we,
week tonight,
we're
right now.
we're
It'll be
exactly a
probably like
week away from the Leafs Hab series.
second period.
Whoever's listening to this, I don't know if you're a Leaf fan or Hab fan, but
If you're a
me
Calgary
and
fan,
Johnny
sorry.
are about to watch the biggest series of our lives. I think we could both agree.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
Well,
good one.
like you only have other first round series. I have a conference. I have two conference finals, but this is
But
bigger.
let's be real. This
is
I
big
think you'd
just
rather
based
win
on
this one than any other one.
it's big.
So Adam wasn't able to join us tonight.
Yeah. Prior commitment that came up last minute, but he sent over his predictions for the playoffs, and we have his preseason predictions in front of us. So we will rip him accordingly.
Maybe that's why he didn't want to show up, because he had Buffalo in third.
We'll get to that in another bit, but
Yeah.
we'll just start before we get into the playoffs. We'll start by reviewing how we got here, kind of. And like always, we obviously follow the North the most. So we'll start in that division. And how we're going to do this is I'm just going to read through our predictions from the start of the season, and then we'll talk on teams and kind of what happened to their season, what went wrong, what went right, what that one person was thinking. Yeah. So in the North, we all had Toronto coming in first. So we all got that right.
Ding, ding, ding.
I think the thought process there, like I remember saying, I said specifically, like I think Matthews, Marner, and such during the season will have a lot of success just kind of tearing up the division. And that happened. Matthews hit 40 goals, and it'll end up being like 52 games in the end.
Yeah.
How many does he have now? 41?
He missed around like 4 games, I think, 4 or 5. So
How many does he have now? 41.
41 in
Probably
like
score tomorrow, so he'll end with 42.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I
Yeah,
don't know. Leafs have had a good year, honestly. I can't complain at all.
They've had a good year, I guess.
It's been a good year to be a Leaf fan, and I've tried to temper my expectations, but since the start of the season, before we even played our first game, my expectations were already high, because I knew the thought process that Kyle Dubas had in the off season. I knew the players he acquired would help a lot. They did. We're a deep team, man. We're better defensively, and I think in the playoffs we're going to take another step defensively that we haven't seen yet in the season, just because things tighten up, obviously. But I think as things tighten up, the Leafs, we have a lot of mobile, moving puck defensemen on the back end that I think have also been able to shut the door this season. So if they could do both, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
As good as like the Leafs regular season was, and like I'll even admit it was a good season, none of it's going to matter depending on how these next couple weeks go.
None of it will matter, dude. Honestly, if we lose this series, I'll never trust this team again.
If they lose, I think Leaf media will just self-combust itself. Like it'll blow up.
We definitely have to win, I would say, 2 series to at
I'd
least
say, yeah, even if you didn't get out of the North, I think like Leaf fans,
it's
media,
a failure.
etc.
If we don't make it out the North, it's a failure of a season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So then
we'll move on to number 2.
Yeah, in second, we had 3 different teams. We all had a different team. One of us got it right, which was me. Surprise. I had Edmonton in second, and I remember saying like same thing. I said my thought process was Toronto, Edmonton will come 1-2 because of like Matthews, McDavid are going to run through the division.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thought process, and Edmonton kind of lived up to their expectations. I think they had a great regular season. Mike Smith was a key to that.
I think they started off pretty slow, we could say.
They did. When Koskinen was in that, we ripped them on like the 3rd episode, saying like they're going nowhere, blow it up, get McDavid out of there, poor guy.
Koskinen, if he was listening to our podcast somehow, we just ripped that guy episode after episode. But
did you see the game last week? He allowed 4 goals on 4 shots.
Yeah, you texted me to check his stat line. That was hilarious.
I couldn't believe it. I was
But dude, Mike Smith is having the best year of his career probably, and he's 39 years old.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous.
He saved them. If he didn't come in,
yeah. Well, sorry, what were you saying?
If he didn't come in and do what he did, they wouldn't. I don't even think they would be in the playoffs right now, because they weren't in a playoff spot when
they started terribly. Because I even remember, like, I don't know what game it was, but I remember at one point the Leafs Edmonton first matchup, the Leafs won, and it dropped Edmonton's record to like pretty scary. And I remember Connor like saying in the post game interview, like, we're X amount of games and whatever it was, like, we have this many points. It's not good enough. We need to start winning now, like, especially because it was a shortened season. That like we need to turn it on. Then Mike Smith came back and they started rolling. So like kudos to him. And he's always better. Like Adam, if he was here, he could testify. He's always better in the playoffs than the regular season, except last year. But that was technically the play in. So it'll be very interesting to see how he does against Winnipeg. But
they've also had more support around I know McDavid still has probably like half the team's points, but they have had more support
Puljujarvi
around him.
guys,
Like Puljujarvi really stepped up
yeah.
this season. He's a good player, man. I don't even think he's anywhere close to his full potential yet, but yeah. So who did I have second? I think
you had Montreal.
I had
Yeah.
Montreal. Yeah.
Well, so we'll just touch on them like we'll touch on them as they were like in real life. Okay. So I'll just finish up with and Adam had the Flames in second.
Okay.
You're gonna notice Adam had some questionable picks, but to be fair, we all had a couple questionable picks. But yeah, the Flames in second did not happen. Then in third, I had Montreal. Adam had Montreal. You had the Oilers, so you were one off on the Oilers, and you had the Oilers one lower. Me and Adam had the Habs one higher, but in real life, we know Winnipeg came third. I don't know, honestly. If the season ended 2 weeks ago, I would kind of like their odds to get out of the North.
Winnipeg, a lot of.
But now I don't know.
I know every analyst was hyping them up. This is the team.
They never lost more than 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They were playing great, and then now they're just not.
I think their offense is there. Their goalie's there. Hellebuck's amazing, but I don't know.
The most interesting thing is their offense, like during this losing streak or whatever you want to call it, has been mainly like depth scoring. I read. The big guys were kind of stuttering.
Their third line hasn't really slowed down, but the top six really. Dubois hasn't lived up to what he should have been, especially I think
losers all around.
Yeah, I think if they would have just kept Laine, they were just better off doing that because Laine, he never really played bad hockey for Winnipeg. Yeah. It was more they were just not utilizing him properly. I think they're underutilizing DeMello on the back end. Last year he was playing top minutes, like 24 minutes a night, really good defenseman. They gave him a pretty decent sized contract, I would say, like 4 years by like $3 million or maybe the other way around. And now he's like getting like the 6th, 7th D minutes. But yeah, we'll move on.
Yeah, no. So then so none of us got third, right? Then in fourth, I had the Flames. Michael had the Canucks. Sorry, Adam had the Canucks. Michael had the Flames as well. So we all had the Flames making the playoffs, and Adam had the Flames and Canucks making the playoffs. So
me and you
we went 3 for 4.
Yeah.
Adam got 2 out of 4. I just thought the Flames were going to be better than they were, honestly. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I think they had the most disappointing season out of any team, arguably. Definitely in the North, arguably in the league, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like, adding Markstrom and Tanev, even though they lost. Like, Tanev, Brody, like, whatever. But, like, adding Markstrom, I thought they were going to be a lot better.
I did too.
They just weren't.
Well, I even said at the beginning, like, I think they'll be better. I had them making the playoffs clearly, but I even said they're not going to do anything. I had them going out first round no matter what, because I don't see their roster the way it's built. I don't see the big players stepping up like deep in the playoffs or even in round one. They haven't really. I think they've won 1 series in the past, like whatever.
2 if you count the play-in. But yeah,
if you count the what? Oh,
if you count the play-in, then it's 2 because they won in 2015. But yeah, I know we were supposed to talk Montreal there, but yeah, like the Flames.
Oh yeah, we were
severely underperformed, so we had to just touch on it while we're on them. The Daryl Sutter hire didn't produce like the results, the immediate results. It'll be interesting to see how it is going forward. Like we've touched on, since we know like he's not going to be like a coach that's there for a long, long time. It'll just with age and everything. It'll be interesting to see like if they just completely construct a team for him, or like they like half send it, you could say. But we'll
half sender.
We'll see. Definitely a disappointing season for the Flames, who actually are not done yet. 4 more games.
That's another topic, but
yeah, we'll talk about that later when we get into our playoffs. So then obviously in fourth, Montreal came, series against the Leafs coming up. And like I said, if Winnipeg season ended 2 weeks early, I would have been a lot higher on them. If Montreal season ended after 10 games, I would have been very high.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. It was mainly like at the end, I'm going to say like maybe with my biased hat on, I think the injuries and then like the 26 games in 42 days or whatever, that and the injuries that they were compiling at the end probably linked, but they didn't clinch the playoff spot. They limped into it.
Yeah, they crawled into it.
but it is what it is. They're gonna be healthy. It seems everyone maybe drew in, hopefully drew in. We don't know. Uh, all around they made the playoffs, which was the minimum of their expectation this year. Now they're kind of just low key in a similar spot that they were last year, heading into the playoffs. Like now, like
Yeah,
no real pressure.
yeah. I get
Pittsburgh had all the pressure last year. Toronto has all the pressure this year.
there's more pressure on the Habs
Yeah, more
because
pressure this year.
I think a lot of people had them making it this year, especially that they spent to the cap for the first time in a while. Bergevin, I think his deal like is coming up. They're seeing what they're going to do with him. But yeah, from a Leaf fan perspective, I had them second, so I clearly was high on what Bergevin did in the offseason. I thought he didn't bring in any star players. Well, Toffoli's playing like a star, but at the time he didn't bring. It seemed like he didn't bring any star players in. But I thought he brought in the right pieces. But at the same time, I think you still needed a star, and I think that is what is keeping Montreal from consistently playing like the team that they played in January. I think it's easier to play in January when you're fresh. You have new teammates. You all want to get going. But as the season went on, Montreal had I think the fifth worst record in the last 22 games of the season. So, if anything, they kind of underperformed to what I thought they would do, even though they made the playoffs. A lot of people had them missing. I honestly had them. I thought they would come second for sure. Just the way the team's built.
Yeah, see, I'd say like it wasn't really like surprising that they came fourth because I had them in third, but like I didn't think they'd have the greatest regular season. Like I thought they'd make it, but I didn't think it'd be the greatest. But then with like the injuries and stuff, like I've kind of given them some leeway, and like when I meant they have not like the pressure's not on them, I meant like the pressure's just way more on Toronto than it is on them.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I meant. Like the pressure was last year.
Yeah.
Like Pittsburgh last year was a cup contender. They had all this pressure. Montreal's house money. This year, Toronto's a cup contender. All this pressure. Montreal has pressure, but nowhere near Toronto's. So they can kind of just like if Montreal loses, no one will like. There won't be the uproar.
Yeah, because of who they're versing. I think the players in the locker room, they still feel a bit of pressure compared to other teams around the league. Like the teams that are up there in pressure are Leafs. I think Habs are up there. Like
just
Penguins Penguins are up there. Like from a fan base and management perspective. Because when's the last time the Habs won not the play in, but like when's the last time they won a round?
They beat Ottawa in 2015.
Yeah, so it's that's a long time for any team. So.
But we'll move on because that was kind of getting into like our previewing the series, which we're gonna do later. So we'll just move on. In sixth right now, technically, is Ottawa. Vancouver could jump them, but right now it's Ottawa. With the Flames. Oh, sorry. Well, we actually, because we messed up there. In fifth, I had the Jets just missing out. And I remember saying, like, I think it'll be close between them and Calgary. Kind of was, but, like, the Jets, none of us had the Jets in, to be fair. So Adam had the Oilers in fifth. Just, I guess, didn't believe in Connor. Maybe a bit of Battle of Alberta bias there, honestly.
Yeah.
And you had Vancouver in fifth, so not terrible picks, honestly, all around.
I think Vancouver had a bad start, and then COVID kind of hit them bad. Honestly, if the COVID thing didn't happen, for how Winnipeg, Montreal, and Calgary, like pretty much besides the top two teams, Leafs and Edmonton, pretty much it could have been a race.
Honestly, like we'll get into them next because they came sixth.
Ottawa
in sixth. Adam gets his first one correct, or second one correct. He had Ottawa in sixth, which they are right now. I had Vancouver, and you had the Jets. So you were very low on the Jets.
I was low on the Jets.
Yeah. So Ottawa, I think, if they didn't have that like 2-12 start, they would have been in the playoffs crazily.
Man,
they're crazy now.
They were the best team against the Leafs for sure.
No, but like just in general, they're a fun team to watch. They're crazy.
They're deep, and they have some young guys that hit. Like there was a rookie yesterday who scored his first NHL goal, first game.
But Freddie should have had that.
Yeah, well, that's another topic.
Yeah.
Can't
then in seventh, me and you had Ottawa. Adam had the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, so really low on Winnipeg.
He was as low as Michael was. Adam was just a little bit lower. Like as we were saying with Vancouver, who are technically in seventh right now, their season, I don't think will be looked at as like negatively because of the COVID thing. I mean, I think right now, if like the last month, the most I've read on Vancouver has just been about Alex Edler and angry Lee fans. But
Oh, from his knee on.
yeah,
That whole topic about should Simmons go after him, that's all bullshit, to be honest, in my opinion. I don't think there's any unwritten rule, especially if you take a cheap shot on Hyman like that, you have to drop the gloves.
well,
Edler said yes. Like there's nothing. I don't know why people are getting mad at Simmons. Oh, it should have been someone else. Who do you want to go after? Matthews potentially getting injured. I don't care that Edler's never had his first fight. That's not Simmons'
don't
problem.
need people.
Yeah, don't need people. And not only that, how has Edler not even had his first fight? He's been in the league for how long? Buddy, it's time to drop the gloves.
Not even that. Like he has a history of kneeing people. Like he
Yeah,
need
he
Eric
does.
Stahl in the IIHF World
So
Championships, and he need someone in the NHL before. But not even that. Like I don't see why people are getting mad at Simmons. If you're gonna get mad at anyone, get mad at for like the Canucks. Like you knew first shift like that Edler was on. Someone was gonna go after him. Like when Edmondson went after Myers on the first shift. Like they get that out. They don't do that in the third period. They get that out of the way right away. Like I guess Vancouver's tough guy is probably McEwen. Have McEwen on the ice so he like intercepts Simmons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Vancouver kind of just left Edler out to dry there. But moving on, like it'll be interesting to see how Vancouver moves forward. Some bad moves by them last offseason.
Well, I guess we could just mention it now. Vancouver and Calgary, they're playing like 3 games while the playoffs are going to be on. So that's kind of pointless. I don't see why you would risk. I get from a league standpoint, they're probably TV.
It's about like the regional broadcasts.
Yeah, but from a player perspective, they're not going to want to play. They're not going to want to be hitting each other and risk injury going into a off season in the summer. But yeah, well, I think we covered every team in the North.
Yeah, just touching on that, like the NHL's kind of moved all the games around because they knew like they moved Edmonton, Vancouver on Saturday to like 3, and even like Tuesday, Wednesday, Calgary, Vancouver's at like 1 and 2 because they know like even if you have literally the worst playoff matchup, which I don't even know what that is because all the matchups are pretty enticing, that's gonna get watched over Vancouver, Calgary. Especially with blackouts.
Yeah.
Our favorite thing. But no more of those because it's the playoffs. We've made it. No more regional blackouts.
Did you see that cringy Sportsnet? Like they were advertising the
Sportsnet now and don't be
Dude, that was the worst thing I've ever seen.
I got sad yesterday. Like
why?
I got sad turning off my On Hockey TV live stream. I was like, see you in September.
You use On Hockey TV for Habs games?
Yeah, because it's just so good with the ad, like the ad blocker thing. It's just so good. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Never freezes. I love it. I only found that because of like NCAA.
Yeah.
But now we'll move on to honestly, I think it was the toughest division. We had said that before the year, the East or the Mass Mutual East. It's the only name I kind of remember.
Yeah, what happened to those names? They never even.
They use them on the broadcasts, but like no fans use them.
Yeah. Well, they don't even use them on like the NHL like standings, do they?
No, like not like the score or anything. It's like what the Scotia North Division and then the Mass Mutual East, and then I don't remember the rest. But none of us got first place right in the East. I had Boston. Adam had Philly. You had the Rangers.
Yeah.
So just 3 misses. Pittsburgh came in first, who we also ripped at the start of the season on a couple podcasts.
Don't say we, because I think I had them second.
You did, but I'm saying like a couple games into the season we started.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah,
we were ripping Jari. We were ripping Jari and ripping and bringing Brian Burke. We were ripping some decisions.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a pretty good season in the end. Sid showed he still got it, and I thought the Montreal loss was going to be the end of Pittsburgh, but Michael kind of hit the nail on the head when he said it would motivate them. I think it did. They came in pretty hungry. I think Brian.
Which one was this? Oh, in the
yeah.
You're saying okay, yeah.
Like I think they were just motivated. Brian Burke and Hextall kind of brought new life into the team and could go for their 3rd cup or 4th cup now in the Crosby Malkin era. We'll see.
Yeah.
In second, I had the Flyers. You had the Pens, so 1 off, and Adam had the Islanders. So yet again, none of us hit. Me and Adam very high on the Flyers. We'll get to them in a bit, but yeah. Who actually came second? Washington. Kind of just as advertised, like they're always a good regular season team. That's going to be a absolute great series there.
With Boston in 3rd.
Washington,
so I guess we'll just pop Boston too. Yeah,
because Boston came in 3rd.
I think we all had them making the playoffs, right?
Oh yeah, you and Adam actually had Boston in third. I had the Islanders.
Okay, so pretty close.
But yeah, no, that's gonna be a great series, especially if you remember all the shenanigans that happened, kind of with like Tom Wilson.
And Chara's on
Chara
Washington
return, like
now, so he's versing his former
it's
team.
very appetizing. And I know normally like Sportsnet just sends all their like guys all over the map for like every series, but I don't know if they probably won't do that because of COVID. So I pray we get the Boston feed of Jack Edwards. I want Jack Edwards like on when they show the games. I want the Jack Edwards feed. Like I hope they don't send.
I don't even know who that is. I'm gonna
like the Boston commentator that's always like screaming and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm hoping up
like
here
Joe
they give
Bowen
us
of the Habs.
Yeah, I'm hoping they give us like the Boston feed.
Yeah.
Because like he's just amazing, and I don't want like Gary Galley, who just irritates me. I also hope they don't send Jim Houston. I hope Jim Houston stays in Vancouver because I don't want him commentating our games. I want Chris Cuthbert.
Yeah, Chris Cuthbert's good.
But yeah, then in fourth, the Islanders, just a solid team. They honestly, I could see them upsetting Pittsburgh. I'm not saying it'll happen, but I could see that happening.
Not even an upset. Like it wouldn't even be an upset.
Just like I know the 4 versus 1.
Yeah, the seeding's an upset, but they swept them 2 years ago. So
yeah, they did. Islanders, if you let 2 goals in against the Islanders, you might be in trouble. That's just like the Islanders can win
don't let in more
games.
They're not letting in more than 3 goals in the playoffs. So you gotta make sure you
Lou doesn't allow it physically. Like he beats people if they let in more than 2 goals.
See, but I don't like the additions he brought in. Palmieri and Zajac they haven't done much since they joined the team. For a first, should have got Taylor Hall.
Because it's not even Palmieri. It's like a shaved dude.
Yeah, it's a shaved Palmieri.
Like, yeah, you've taken away his powers.
How funny is that rule? Like, come on.
It's just funny too, because like it's not like these guys like Palmieri's had a beard for like as long as I can remember Palmieri being in the league.
I know, poor guy.
Like had to just shave.
Can't even look at him the same probably.
Then in fifth, I got this one correct. I had the Rangers. Adam had the Rangers as well, actually, and Michael had the Flyers. So Michael, talk about the Rangers season. You had them coming in first. What went wrong?
Man, I still believe that they could have been in the playoffs. Like their roster on paper. And I even said at the beginning of the season, when I had them in first, I said if they don't finish high, the only thing holding them back is their coach. Because I even saw Rangers fans calling for his head last season for some reason. Because I think he was relatively new coach, right? Like
yeah, I think that was his 3rd season, but I think that was his first NHL job.
And 2 days ago they fired him, so they cleaned house. They fired the GM too. So next year I am expecting a playoff
back in the Metro. Yeah, I think they can get a wild card.
Come on, man.
I'm scared for next year.
It's not. I don't want to say it's stacked, but they have some good players. Good
the
goalie.
East is gonna be tough.
Good defense, yeah.
Like the Eastern Conference, not division.
Yeah.
Not liking it. Then now I guess we can move on to a team that me and Adam were very high on that didn't make it, the Flyers. Personally, like I thought they were going to take a step forward. I didn't see Carter Hart playing this bad, and I didn't see like their key players like regressing this much in like a season. That's all I really got to say on it. I just thought they were going to take a step forward. They were solid last year, solid pretty much in the bubble. Like, they took the Islanders to 7 when they lost. I just didn't see this step back coming. Me and Adam had the Pens in 6, and you had Buffalo. But yeah, I didn't see this coming. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they would take a step forward.
I never liked Philly. I don't know.
Well, I don't like Philly either. I just thought they were a decent team.
Like that's what I mean. I don't know. Something about their team I just never liked the way they play. I don't know.
In 7th, I think you and Adam, if I was here, would have to give some explanation. You both had Washington.
Yeah, what was I thinking, dude?
I said Ovi doesn't miss the playoffs. And I had Buffalo.
I really questioned their goaltending, but clearly that guy came out of nowhere, that Vitek guy or whatever.
I would like to point out, we missed it. Adam had the Buffalo Sabres in 4th. He hasn't making the playoffs.
Really high on them. I think
he was very high on Buffalo.
Actually, a lot of people had them just slipping in.
But still, that's why Adam's not here. We saw that and we fired him.
Yeah, come on. Buffalo's not making the playoffs for the next 10
The fact that Michael had them in 6th and I had them in 7th, I'm disappointed in myself. We all had the Devils in last. We were unanimous.
Oh my God, I forgot there was 8 teams.
We were unanimous that the Devils were going to suck.
And they did suck.
They
had a
did
good
suck,
start,
but Buffalo sucked more.
yeah.
So the Devils, I'm not gonna lie to you, no idea what their future looks like, what they're gonna do. I guess they're just gonna continue this rebuild and hope they get a stud and can be good in a couple of years. But Buffalo, let's just talk about this dumpster fire that is brewing.
I think we've talked about it a lot this season. So,
but like all the new, I just want to talk about all this new info that's come out this week.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Jack Eichel wants to have surgery done. Buffalo does not want to give him the option, and apparently the CBA favors Buffalo over like they got control over his body, kind of.
How?
I don't know. Apparently, like the CBA, like the player has the right to get a second opinion on what the team doctor says, because the team doctor is advising no surgery. Eichel wants surgery, and that's what the second opinion said. But if they're in like a dispute, the CBA apparently will favor the team.
That's crazy.
So, because the problem is he wants a disc replacement or something, which has never been done. He had
the surgery out. Like
no, he's just been resting.
Waiting. Yeah, that's stupid.
Apparently they agreed to do the 12 because apparently like another treatment's like it just heals. So that's why he said 12 weeks of rest, which Elliot Friedman says ends May 30th.
So he wants out.
So on May 30th, they're gonna decide what to do, kinda.
Yeah.
He wants disc replacement. No one's ever come back from a disc replacement.
Like in their career.
No player's ever got a disc replacement surgery and played again. I don't know how many attempts there's been, but no player's ever come back. And he wants it but apparently, like I've read, he's a big guy on his body. Like he like knows everything, like very like nutrition, all that kind of stuff. So he's really angry apparently that like they're taking away like his kind of right to choose what to do for his body because he thinks he knows best.
Where is it? And is like what is it?
I don't even know where herniated disc is.
Like hip?
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Sam Reinhart.
Yeah, Sam Reinhart unfollowed them.
Oh no, no way.
He unfollowed them and took them out of his bio. Like it's a dumpster fire. I'm telling you, it's a dumpster fire.
What? At the end of the season, just takes him out of his bio. Yeah, they're both gone. I don't know. Sorry, Buffalo.
Sorry, Buffalo. I'm sure you'll be getting ripped again on next season. Now we'll move into the Central Division. I think this is the division. Second, actually, no, I didn't watch the West at all. I was gonna say I didn't watch too much of the Central. I watched a bit of the Central because of Columbus and honestly how Domi and Line did. But in first place, me and you had Tampa and Adam had Carolina. So Adam was correct there. Kudos to Adam.
He actually had them first in the league, so he nailed it.
He was very high in Carolina. They had a great season. I thought their goaltending
and their stars didn't even play as good as like
we thought they might.
For a first place team, you would think like Aho and Svech would be over a point per game. I don't think they were. But
but all in all, great season by the Canes. In second, none of us got this one right. I had Carolina, you had Carolina, Adam at Tampa. So we all had those two finishing top two. But it was the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, Florida's really surprised, I think, everyone this season. We knew they would be more competitive because I feel like each year over the past 3 years, they've been inching closer and closer. They've been itching closer and closer to the playoffs. So, yeah, it's about time they finally take that step. I think this is the first time
year for them.
They've been in it in what? Like, I think they had the longest drought besides the Leafs.
No, they were in it like in 2012 or something.
Were they?
Maybe since they've won a series.
Oh, maybe since they won a series. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they got swept last year in the bubble in the play-in by the Islanders. I can't remember, but I know it didn't go well for them. In third, I had Dallas. Adam had Dallas. Michael had Florida. So like.
Oh, I did? I didn't even know I was that high.
You had Florida in third. Honestly, like Tampa came in third. I think Tampa would have came first if they had Kucherov and Stamkos for more than they did. And like Hedman's apparently been playing injured. Yeah. But yeah, like this is I think might be the best like playoff matchups. Like Tampa, Florida is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. They've been sharing the same AHL team this year.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
And so has Carolina and Nashville.
Wow. That's actually crazy.
Because think about it, if they have to call up guys,
like we're just
playing
teammates.
Your teammates. You could be playing your teammates.
And like sometimes like you bring up the AHL goon, like imagine bringing two goons and now just gotta brawl each other. In fourth, I had Florida, Adam had Columbus, and you had Dallas. So we all had Dallas making the playoffs. We'll just jump to them. Who didn't? I think if they literally the same thing as Tampa, just to a more degree. These guys didn't have Sagan all season, pretty much. They didn't have Bishop.
I don't think Bishop.
Radulov went out midway through the year. Pavelski missed time. They had the COVID thing at the start of the year. I think Dallas was a playoff team if they were even semi healthier than they were.
I think so too, because even the season Pavelski had, the season who thought Jason Robertson would have that season?
Yeah, way better than his brother.
Who's the other player? Hintz? Or there
Yeah,
was another
Rube Hintz.
point per game, over a point per game by far.
Oh yeah, Dallas.
Yeah,
it's just a minor step back of a year. Like the only concerning thing is Ben Radulov, Pavelski, Bishop are all
minor
getting
step
older.
back, but they're all getting older. So
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think they'll be much better next year.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they were a playoff team if it wasn't for injuries. I truly believe that. In fourth in real life came Nashville. None of us had Nashville making the playoffs. I don't know where they came from this year. Honestly, like we were ripping them too at the start. They were nowhere. I thought Ekholm was going to be a Montreal Canadian at this point.
I think the players just didn't want to get traded. There were so many rumors about different players. They all stepped up at the perfect time. I think they stepped up like 3 weeks before the deadline. They won a nice winning.
All of a sudden wasn't available because they were like a point out.
Yeah, nice winning streak. So you can't trade them.
In fifth, I had Columbus. Adam had Florida missing out, and you had Columbus as well. As we touched on Dallas, they came in fifth. In sixth, I had Nashville. You had Nashville. Adam had the Red Wings. Who actually came in sixth?
Chicago, maybe?
Chicago came in sixth, yeah. Chicago. Great season.
You held in there for as long as you can.
No, like honestly, like
yeah,
I remember we all had Chicago in last. Like I remember we ripped Chicago pretty hard. Like we ripped them at the start.
I think I had 2 teams actually behind.
No, so you had Chicago in seventh.
Oh,
but
okay,
I remember fully saying
you and Adam really ripped them.
Yeah, I remember fully saying I looked at the score right before we filmed, and I cannot tell you who their goalies are other than Subban, who's going to be the backup. Because I didn't know this Lankinen guy was the real deal.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had no faith in their goaltending either.
I thought I remember because I listened to the podcast yesterday to get these predictions. I thought their backup was going to be that Dalia guy. It was not. It was Lankinen, and he actually just became the starter kind of and said, "Johnny, you don't know what you're talking about." But yeah. Great season, Chicago. Way better than I thought.
Chicago like has those players that like come out of nowhere and step up. That's why I felt like they would still be decently competitive. Patrick Kane's there. So
we'll get on to something interesting about Chicago later. We'll get into and some other prediction that someone made. But yeah, they just get guys like that Pule Suter guy that performed. Yeah. Kubiak had a good year because I'm looking at right here. Kane, unreal. Honestly,
Hayes didn't play a game, and they still were that competitive. Kirby Doc came late, so Alex Nylander didn't. I don't think he played a game. So you can't.
So yeah, like Chicago, you're in there. Like you had a good year. I'm proud of you guys. In seventh came the Red Wings. I had them in seventh.
There's nothing to say about them. They didn't play.
I honestly, I only watched one Red Wing game. Only thing I'll say is Bernier. I
watched them against Tampa a couple times.
Bernier is pretty good.
Bernier had a good season.
Yeah, great year for Bernier.
Yeah.
Trust Stevie Y if you're a fan.
Trade him at the deadline, but Stevie Y with that awesome haul for Mantha. Vrana has been playing amazing for them, so we'll see what they do in the offseason.
And in eighth, we had the Columbus Blue Jackets.
We did?
No, like in real life, they came in eighth.
They came in eighth?
Yeah, they came in eighth in real life.
No way.
I am 90% sure of that.
Detroit came ahead of them?
Yep, Detroit. They were tied in points, but Detroit had more regulation plus overtime wins.
That's crazy. I did not, especially just because of what I saw what they did to us in the playoffs in the bubble. I did not think
it's not a good year for them.
Well, I had them missing.
They have 3 first-round picks. Adam was the only one that had Columbus in the playoffs. He had them in fourth. He was high on the Domi trade for them. Hasn't worked out so far. Maybe new coach will.
I think me and you both. I said Montreal lost that trade at the start. But at the same time, I also said I don't think Domi will fit with Torts.
Yeah,
we kind of don't know. Like we don't truly know. I think maybe if Montreal kept, let's just say they kept Domi, I think he could easily get 24 points, which is I'm pretty sure what Anderson has.
Yeah, see, Anderson scored 17 goals, which is pretty good. That's
but that's 30 goal pace. You didn't need to sit.
It's about like 30 goals pace. This guy had 7 assists, so that's why I don't care. He had 24 points. He had 17 goals. That's the stat I care about. And he's gonna
come playoff time, I'm taking Anderson.
Yeah, 100%
over Domi.
Domi did nothing in the bubble. As much as I love the guy wearing his jersey right now, just kind of disappeared in the bubble. But also, like, he's on the fourth line for some points. Not his fault, really. But yeah, Chicago. We said like we applauded. What's the name? Chicago. I don't know where Columbus goes from here, honestly.
Well, Torts is gone, so Did you see Line wants to stay apparently now?
Yeah, but like I get Torts is gone, but like where do they go from here? Like what are they? Are they going to rebuild fully, or because they've been in the playoffs every year up until now technically? Like, so are they going to rebuild, or are they going to just come back next year? Because Foligno's going back there. That's pretty much confirmed, apparently. Like,
I hope
I
not.
don't
I
know.
would love to have him back if the cap somehow we can make it work.
Yeah,
But because what's the like you know what I mean? What's the point of the Leafs just continuing to make deadline deals for a player like him when we could just keep him the whole
keep him.
season? But yeah, what's the next? We'll go to the next division.
And finally, this is the division I actually watched the least of. I'm not going to lie. When it was in Vegas or the Colorado, I wasn't really watching. The West, whatever that sponsorship name was. This division's actually not wrapped up yet. We'll even get touch on that in our playoff predictions. So like 1 and 2 are interchangeable. But I had Vegas in 1, who are currently 1. You and Adam had Colorado in 1. So we'll just touch on both teams quickly because they kind of tie into each
We're
other.
currently second, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
And then like I had the Avs second, you had Vegas, and you had Vegas second. So we both had them coming top 2.
So we all have them top 2, and the game tonight against each other will determine who's first.
We can tie them. Like I said, we can just tie them together. They just both did what they had to do. Like they both had great seasons. They're both great teams, both cup contenders.
Both teams are very similar, even though their team build, like I feel like Colorado has more flash.
Yeah,
but both
Vegas
teams are top 5 in scoring and top 5 in defensive
they're
stats.
both great teams.
So they're both great teams all around.
That's all I really got to say. I
think
really hope
they were
that's
both, the top 2 favorites to win the cup at the beginning of the year, and now they still are. So
I really hope that's the matchup we get in the West Final, I guess you could say, because like I'll watch that. I'll watch every game of that series.
oh yeah, that's a good series.
In third,
but didn't they wait? Did they verse in the playoffs recently? I swear that's been a series.
No.
I think they did. I swear one team won in 6.
Unless it was the inaugural season of Vegas, they didn't because 18-19 Vegas lost in the first round to San Jose. And last year Vegas played Chicago in the first round and Vancouver they lost to.
Damn, I could have sworn they played.
I don't think Colorado made it Vegas' inaugural season. But in third, I had the Blues. You had the Blues. Adam had the Sharks.
Blues, Sharks.
Yeah.
Blues
are in fourth.
Blues almost. So we got 3 out of the 4.
Yeah, Blues came fourth. None of us had the Wild, who came third. We all said we didn't think this Kaprizov guy was going to be as good as he was.
Did we all had them missing?
Yeah, we all had the Wild missing. You had them 5th. Me and Adam had them 6th. They had a great year. Even like in the first round, them versus whoever second is going to be great.
Yeah.
4th was the Blues came 4th. Adam had the Blues in 4th. You had LA and I had the Sharks. I was high on the Sharks. I had like Adam was. They just kind of didn't materialize.
I don't know what you guys saw, to be honest.
I don't know. I just thought Dubnyk and Jones would give them some sort of goaltending. I thought Carlson would play better than he did. Burns. And then they had some good guys up front. Like, I don't know.
I just don't like their team. I don't know.
6th place. 5th, I had the Kings. Adam had the Kings. You had the Wild. I can't even tell. Who came 5th? Arizona. Like I told you, I didn't really follow this division.
Yeah, I think so.
Arizona
or LA.
Arizona's another one of those things. Like I don't know if they're trying to rebuild or compete because they can't really rebuild. They don't have any picks this year. They all got taken for that combine thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
Arizona was right there too. The whole season they were neck and neck with St. Louis.
They had a losing streak at the end, I think.
Yeah, that killed them. And I feel bad for Phyllis Kessel.
What a guy. That photo of him holding the puck, like
yeah, he's such a legend. I don't feel bad for him because he won 2 cups, but
yeah. In 6th, I had the Wild. Adam had the Wild. You had Arizona. So we were all kind of around there in Arizona. Who actually can't? I think 6th is LA.
Mm-hmm.
They're another team that they're in the process of a rebuild, but like they have older pieces. So I'm interested to see. Like
it's a good mix, I guess, going forward. Maybe next year.
Did you hear about the guy in the States, the player in the States?
What player?
We'll talk about this with LA because of the rumor. So a guy in the States, an anonymous player.
In Chicago.
No, they don't know. It's an anonymous player. No, not the Chicago one. We're not even talking about.
Yeah.
An anonymous player in one of the American teams said the North Division isn't even like he said something like the North Division isn't even NHL hockey. None of those forwards know how to defend. They're gonna get killed if they played down here, like the American teams.
Yeah.
And people think it's Doughty. That's why I'm bringing it up with LA.
Dude,
Because
I
Doughty's been
hate
known to say
Doughty
this type of stuff.
so much. Doughty's the cockiest player, and he doesn't even back it up. He's not good anymore.
No, he was a light.
Okay,
Don't get me
he had
wrong.
a good season, but
He was amazing before, but
he was.
I
But
like we
come
also
on,
don't know it was
man.
Doughty, but like on Overdrive, they were speculating that it's Doughty because, like we said, he said this stuff before.
Yeah, but he thinks he's the greatest player on earth.
But I don't have time for this. Oh, Matthew scored 40, McDavid scored 100 because they played in the North. Like
They were gonna do it anyway.
no, not even that. Like it's not like the North was like the worst division. Like who's last in the North? Vancouver, or even Ottawa. Let's say Ottawa's last because Vancouver might jump them if they get 2 wins out of the remaining whatever. Looking at the standings here, Ottawa's better than the Devils and Buffalo. Might even argue they played better than Philly this year. Ottawa's better than Chicago, Columbus, and Detroit. And Ottawa's better than all 3 California teams, and I'd even say Arizona.
Yeah, and there's not even a point of going like team by team like that. Every division has at least
what do you think?
Teams.
Like, based on Johnny's preseason prediction, when he said he didn't even know the goalie on Chicago, what do you think McDavid would have done to that guy?
I know. That's like
you don't think McDavid would have got a 6-point night against Buffalo at least twice?
It doesn't make any sense.
Like Matthews would have lit up Buffalo when they had the Tokarski guy, when they had my boy Tokarski in that.
Matthews hit 40 goals last year in his 55th game. So it's not that far.
I don't have time. I don't have time for this. The North Division's been easy. Like, don't get me wrong. The North Division team, whoever it is, might go out there and get swept by an American team, but it's not because the North Division was soft.
Yeah, and you can't say, okay, the North Division has the worst defense. Statistically, maybe, but it's because they also have the best offense. They have players like McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews, Marner. Like, you have all these.
We cornered the market on like superstar talent.
Yeah.
Like, and even like you can say, oh, like high scoring teams that don't play defense. Montreal is a pretty good defensive team. The Flames are a pretty good defensive team under Daryl Sutter.
They're all pretty good defensive teams.
Ottawa's
and they all have pretty good goaltending. Like Hellebuck, Price.
It's just like I don't have time for this North Division. Was weak, whatever. 7th was we all had Arizona. You had the Sharks. The Sharks came 7th. Congratulations. We've already touched on the Sharks, like kind of disappointing year in my opinion. I thought because I don't think they'll make it in the real playoff thing. So I thought this was a year maybe where they could kind of be near it in the playoffs, like playoff race, and then maybe acquire someone that can like help push them into a solidified playoff spot, maybe win a round or whatever. We all had the Ducks in 8th. The Ducks are just the Ducks.
Ducks. I actually forgot about the Ducks.
I forget their team sometimes.
Whatever.
So now I'll just read out quickly who we had come at the start of the season. Originally, I'll read you out, Michael, who you had coming out of each division. Actually, no, I'll do that later in a playoff prediction. I was going to say you have a chance to change any teams if you want. As we're all golf people, you can have a mulligan if you'd like. So now we'll move into some other predictions we made at the start of the season. These were our bold predictions, and we'll break these down.
Let's hear 'em.
We'll start with mine because I have it from left to right here. I had Price winning the Vezina. That didn't happen. Did not win the Vezina. The awards haven't happened yet, but I'm confident he will not win the Vezina.
Confidence understatement. Poor little Giovanni. I don't know, man. I feel bad because I know how fans just keep thinking about that 2014 season he had and keep thinking
I just thought he can have a great year.
That goalie again, but he won't. At least during the regular season, I think he'll still be a good playoff goalie.
And the best thing is, I didn't want all 3 of my predictions to be Montreal based, and my second prediction, Montreal ruined it for me.
Yeah, I know.
When I said no coaches will get fired this year because of COVID, Montreal is the first team to fire their coach. And then at one point I was like, but then when I said it, I also said declare and I was like, and I guarantee if a coach is fired, no outside coach will be brought in. It'll be an assistant. Montreal kept that, and then Calgary ruined it by bringing in Sutter out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And when I named when I named a coach coming in, I was like, yeah, no coach bringing an outside coach. I said like Gallant, Babcock, none of those. I didn't even name Sutter.
Yeah, because who thought Sutter would be hired again?
But yeah,
but looking back on Montreal's just quickly.
Yeah, go.
Would you keep what was his name? Oh my god, I forgot his name. I was about to say Terrion.
Ducharme?
No, who's the coach you just had?
Julian?
Yeah, would you make that change if you can go back? Like I feel like
I don't know.
You guys were playing good hockey. You went on one little bad losing streak, but I think you had way worse
See,
streaks after he was gone.
I I feel for Ducharme. I really do. I've questioned some of his decisions, but I really feel for the guy because they said he's had very limited practice, especially with the COVID schedule.
That's true.
So that's
Actually,
why
yeah.
like I'm gonna see what he does this week, what he musters up with the lines. Now there's no cap. See what he does. If he wins one round, he's gonna be our coach next year, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see what he does. I want him to succeed because I do feel bad. Like he was kind of in a no-win situation here. Well, there was a win. Like they could have just won games, but like I mean, like he was put in a tough situation. We'll see. Knowing the COVID pause, I think Bergevin might take back the firing, knowing how little practice they were gonna get. But I really didn't like Claude that much, so I was fine to see him go. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Do you think Montreal would take it back?
I think if they were thinking about it, then you might as well do it. It's like with us with Babcock. Like if we would have just kept Babcock, we would have eventually fired him anyway because Dubas wanted his guy.
Keith.
So if Bergevin wanted a new coach, that's what he's gonna get. So I don't think you can go back now and say, "Oh, take it back."
The one thing I wonder is because he got fired right after a loss in Ottawa. That was the game when Gallagher scored to win the game with 2 seconds left. Then they called it back for that goal interference when it wasn't goal interference because Matt Murray had time to build a house before he reset.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that.
So I wonder if that went in, if they still fired Julian the next day.
That's just like if Fleury didn't make that save, would Babcock still be the Leafs?
Did they get did they get another week?
Yeah, did they? Yeah, whatever.
No doubt if Babcock was the Leafs coach and they lost to Columbus in the play-in, like he had stayed, then he was gone 100%.
Yeah, he was gone. I don't know. I saw it coming long thing.
I thought he was gone after Boston.
I knew he was gone after this. I think after the first Boston, I wanted him gone.
No.
Wait, when was it?
Not the first Boston. The year when you had Tavares Boston, so the second Boston.
Okay, yeah, maybe the second Boston.
Is it just me?
He's got to go. Yeah, and then he went.
Is it just me, or does it feel like you played Boston 3 times, like 3 years in a row?
Yeah.
Because of the COVID thing, I feel like you played a third series. I feel like Tavares has played. I don't know.
I always forget that Tavares was only there for one series.
Yeah, I feel like Tavares played Boston twice.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah. And then my third one was Montreal related. Like I didn't plan on all three, obviously with the coach one, but I had Montreal hitting a point per game. No one hit point per game. Like a player hitting point per game.
Suzuki slowed down. He started picking it up at the end.
Yeah,
but that's your player.
That was my prediction I had if someone did. And then like I had such a good joke planned, and then they ruined it. Up until yesterday when they played Belzile. Belzile was a point per game because he played one game and had a point. So I was going to say, I told you. I was going to say, I told you we had a point per game, Belzile. But then they decided to play him, and now he has two games played, 1 point, and they ruined it. What a joke.
So your predictions were all Montreal based. The
coach one, though, I didn't. Because Claude wasn't even on the hot seat, I thought, really.
Yeah. I remember mine. Also, I could just say mine.
Yeah, you can go for yours.
I had Shesterkin winning not only the Calder, but the Vezina too. That was mainly linked to Rangers coming first. I thought he would just carry them. He had a bad start, but he honestly, if you look at his season now, his numbers, like he had a pretty good year. Not Vezina caliber, but it wasn't as far off as Price winning the Vezina, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Do I take it back? Maybe.
I don't know. Like I would have given you Shesterkin the Calder, but that's not really.
But the Calder race was actually pretty close between a lot of people.
Like I would have said, like, oh, Shesterkin Calder, like that makes sense. But when you said Vezina, like that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like I was blown away.
Because I thought if he's good enough to win the Calder, maybe sneaks in a Vezina.
What was your next one, Michael?
Traded.
Yeah, you did.
And he didn't, which is surprising. But also at the same time,
he gets traded next year, I think.
Yeah, I think it was because of COVID. No one really knew how it was going to look, like money-wise, with a lot of teams. But I don't think he's getting older. He still is hungry for a cup. In the off season, he always posts his training videos. He goes hard. So I think he's still hungry for a cup contending team. And I don't think Devils are going to be that anytime soon. And I kind of knew they would be this bad this season. That's why I thought he would get traded mid-season. Maybe if he was having like an outstanding year, he would have been gone. But anyway, my third prediction, I think I was the only one to hit a bold prediction.
Yeah, you
McDavid
did.
getting 100 points.
That was crazy.
I'm wrong. Technically, I'm wrong because he hit 102, which is just insane.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know how you predicted that.
You're a god.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
I honestly just figured he's in the Canadian division. He's gonna light it up against teams like Vancouver and
yeah, he had 20 points against Ottawa and 20 points against Winnipeg and probably 20 points against Canucks when it's all done.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, crazy. And then Adam, 2 of his predictions we can't even judge right now because they were playoff based. So he had Carolina making the finals and Leafs out round 1. So those will be judged soon. And then he was wrong on this one. He had Johnny Gaudreau having a 100-point pace. And he wasn't even point per game.
Adam was so high on Johnny Gaudreau.
He had a great start.
I don't understand.
He had a great start. Like for a while,
he's a good player, but
Gaudreau bounce back season. But then he kind of fizzled under Sutter, as you would expect with Sutter hockey. But yeah, we touched on Calgary already, disappointing. And then another thing we did was we had this little rapid fire segment where we just said something in like kind of word association. So I said, where would Taylor Hall end the year? I had Colorado. You both had Buffalo. So we were all wrong. Then congrats, Michael. When I said, where would Dubois end the year? You said Winnipeg. So you got that one right. Adam said Chicago. And I said Columbus. Then for Carolina, for Laine, you had him finishing the season in Columbus. So you pretty much predicted the trade.
I predicted that trade, yeah.
Me and Adam had him finishing in Carolina, mainly because the jersey swap looks so nice.
That was so nice.
Then I asked, will the Rocket Richard winner hit 40 goals? And if so, who? We all said Matthews would win the Rocket. Me and you said he would hit 40. Adam said no.
Oh, I thought you said no too.
No, I said yeah.
Okay.
Because I said he just lights up Carey Price. I remember saying those exact words.
Yeah, he did light up the Habs. But he lit up
everyone. And then the President's Trophy, I said how many points would they finish with and who? Me and you at Tampa, Adam at the Canes. I had them at 82. So technically, if LA wins if Colorado wins tonight, I think they hit 82 points. So I think I get it right on.
No, I think the highest someone could finish with is 80. I'm not wrong.
I don't know. I'll check quickly.
Isn't Carolina's at 80 and they're at first. I think someone.
Vegas right now has 82.
Oh, Vegas has 82.
So if Colorado wins, they go to 82. So I would get that. I get that correct no matter what.
You got the points right. Yeah. You had who?
I had Tampa though.
Okay.
And then you had Tampa at 84. So if Vegas wins tonight, I think maybe you hit it.
No, they played all their games.
Oh, okay. So never mind. And then Adam, I don't think Adam knew how to do math. Adam had the winner with 88 points. That's ridiculous. Like,
I think I even said that when he said that.
Yeah, I know. Like it was hard with the conversions. Like even
82 is really. I mean, 82.
82 is a lot still, but like even when Adam said Gaudreau 100-point pace, I honestly didn't know how many points Gaudreau had. So when I went to look, I was like, shit, like I'm gonna have to find out how to calculate this. Then I saw he was less than point per game, so it was done for me.
Yeah.
But now that was our season wrap up. Pretty long. We've learned that Zoom doesn't cut us off, I think, when it's 2 people. But I think we've been going for a good amount. So now we'll move on to our playoff predictions.
So we'll go round by round.
We'll save the North for last this time, I think.
I like that.
Because we always get the North right away.
We're trying to be quick. We already broke down the teams.
Yeah, we broke down. So we'll start in the East. We're just going to say, I have Adam's predictions here. So we'll just break down the series quickly and give a little prediction.
I wrote mine down today.
So in Pittsburgh Islanders, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts?
Yeah, just quick thoughts and prediction. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, quick thoughts. Islanders swept them the last time they were in a series. But I do think, as I said in the beginning of the year, Pittsburgh's hungry after that Montreal loss. They clearly, stuck in there this season, even after a bad start, and ended up finishing first. So that says a lot about the team. I think Gino's coming back from injury. They've added Kapanen. Tanev had a good season. Guentzel, another good year. Rust. I just think they're kind of a little bit more focused this year. A lot of cred go to the coach. I forgot his name right now. Sullivan. No, not a lot of coaches could do that. He's already won 2 cups with them. some bad egg.
Might be in Jack Adams' nomination.
Yeah, some bad playoff series, but now they're back in it. So I have Pens in 7. I think it'll be a close series. I think it's going to be really defensive, especially just because any series the Islanders play is going to be defensive.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to close out some games, maybe at home. Both teams have really good records at home, but Pens have home ice advantage, so I'm going to go with them.
I have Pens in 6.
Nice.
Like you've pretty much chosen everything. I think Pittsburgh now they've lost like 3 series in a row, like throughout 3 years. So I think Crosby's just not going to let that happen again. In the last 2 years, they've won 1 game in the playoffs in the last 2 rounds. They lost in 4 to Montreal and they lost in 4 to the Islanders. Obviously, Montreal's the best out of 5, but yeah, I think this is Pittsburgh's year where they at least win a round. They're gonna kind of get back on a little run here. They're gonna beat the Islanders, I think. But I think the problem with the Islanders is I think, like we touched on, Pittsburgh has a good offense. So I think once they score a couple goals, the Islanders won't be able to match that, and that's how Pittsburgh will win. Adam has Pittsburgh moving on. I don't know on how many games, but he as well. So we all picked Pittsburgh. So congratulations, Islanders, on your win. That's how it's
yeah,
gonna go.
they're gonna win. Yeah, that's how it's gonna go.
And what about so I'll lead this one off for Washington, Boston. Honestly, so excited for this series. Like we touched on, I think it's gonna be a great series.
Yeah, I can go either way, honestly, this one.
I have Boston winning it in 7. I think Boston's just one of those teams that's built for playoffs, and I think this year they have some. Even honestly, against the Leafs the last couple of years, they didn't have that much balanced scoring. It was the perfection line that really like carried it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year now they finally have some nice balance, at least in the top 6.
With Taylor Hall, that was a big addition.
So that's why I think what's it called? I think Boston will take the Capitals out in 7. I think we might see some nice little fisticuffs between Wilson and everyone on Boston. It'll be fun to watch. Michael, who do you have?
Have they versed in a series like recently? I don't think
Not
so.
recently. They played like Hope's like rookie year, I think.
So Tom Wilson and Marchand haven't went head to head, have they?
Nope. Just the battle.
There's going to be some good.
Marchand would have been there when they played last, but I don't know about.
So
Wilson.
I have Bruins in 6. So
we just flip flop.
6 or 7. It's kind of like that elimination game. We just win 6 and 7 is kind of same thing as you said. I just think Boston built for the playoffs, and Washington, other than the year that they won the cup, I don't think
do good in
that
playoffs.
great in the playoffs. So
unproven goaltending. It's just
that's another thing. The goaltending, depth D, depth forwards, I guess you could say too. I don't think are going to be there. So we'll move on. We both
had Boston as well.
So we all have.
So we all clean sweep that division. Not good, guys. Not good. We'll move on to the Central now. Carolina, Nashville. I hate to say it. I think this will be a 4-0.
Yeah, so I put them in. I put Canes in 5.
I put Canes. I have Canes in 4. I think Carolina is just gonna. Adam has Carolina as well. Like we've all been agreeing here, but like, if Nashville, this would be the biggest upset, I think.
If Nashville, well, according to my picks, it wouldn't be, but I could see why it would be.
I don't know. I feel like if Carolina lost here, that'd be quite unique. I feel like
it would be, but according to my games, I have Vegas in 4. I'll touch that later.
Yeah.
But that technically that would be the biggest for me, but Canes, Preds, because everyone wrote off the Preds like pretty much early in the season.
And then
half their roster was on the trade bait board. So if they could,
I think they're just happy to be in the playoffs.
Make the second round, that's insane. They have a lot of playoff experience on that roster, so that's why I have it in 5, not 4. I was thinking about doing 4, but you
gotta predict that one sweep, and I think this was it.
Yeah, there's always one sweep.
Adam had Carolina. Then this is a 7-game series right here.
This is going to be a good series, man.
Florida,
the Battle of Florida. We haven't seen that.
First time ever they said. I have Tampa Bay winning in 7.
I have Tampa in 6.
I think Kucherov coming back is going to be a huge boost. Stamkos coming back is going to be a boost.
Yeah.
I think Florida's a great team. I know they've had some somewhat success in the regular season against Tampa, but I feel like different beast in the playoffs. Tampa.
We saw a lot.
Tampa has that winning experience. Vasilevsky.
Tampa's performance last playoffs,
unreal.
I think it was the greatest playoffs performance I've seen in my lifetime. And I'm trying to remember what other.
LA had a great. LA had
a great run when I think.
LA won all their series in 5.
Is that the year you're thinking, or
No,
is
I'm
it
thinking of their first cup. I'm pretty sure they won the Western Conference every series in 5 games.
maybe they did actually? That was a great run too. Even 2010 Chicago, was
Yeah,
that like
Chicago had a good run,
a
but
domination? Or
I don't know.
Pittsburgh never really had a domination,
No,
even though they were a
because they always
dynasty.
go to
But
7 with Washington.
yeah, they would always bring it. But that just shows how clutch of
Yeah.
a team they are. But Tampa last year just shut out games.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt in my mind that they were going to win the cup last year after the Leafs went out.
Adam has Florida. So
Wow,
different
okay.
there.
I'm actually excited to see this
Yeah,
because
it's
this
gonna
could
be a
be
good
an
series.
upset. Like even if Florida, I know Florida's played good in the season. They seeded higher, but that would be a huge upset.
It would not a huge upset, but yeah, it'd be an upset, I think. Quickly back to the East for a second. I would love a Crosby Ovi one more matchup.
Yeah, I
I
would
could get
too.
behind that. I can
I
get
could get
behind that.
behind that.
But yeah, Adam at the Panthers coming out. It's gonna honestly
So far, we all have the same teams
Bobrovsky.
except Panthers.
Bobrovsky's gonna be a X factor there.
That's the thing. Like, do you start Bobrovsky? Like,
I would.
the Drager
'Cause he
guy is
swept
that
them
clear.
last time he played them.
Yeah, that's true.
Then the West, like we actually don't know yet. Technically, like there could be some movement. So pretty much, I don't think it's gonna change anyone's opinion. But let's say it's like Vegas or Colorado versus St. Louis. Are you taking Vegas or Colorado versus St. Louis? Like
What do you
whichever
mean?
one of the 2 teams it is that comes first.
No, yeah,
against-
I'm taking Vegas and Avs are making it out. So
yeah, I have
I have,
Vegas.
as it is right now, I have Vegas in 4 against Blues, and I have Avs in 7 against Wild. I think that one might be a bit closer, but
Adam has the Wild beating whoever they play.
wow.
And honestly, if the Wild play Vegas, I'm taking the Wild.
Yeah, I could see that. That's why I have it in 7 because I think Wild's a pretty good team. They have to show up like
Yeah, they have to.
every player.
That's why we'll
because
see.
You can't
It-
slack against one of
It'll
those
be
teams.
interesting, but I think that's what I'm saying. Like honestly, all these series are great. Like
Yeah, this is a good year.
it's great year. Now like we'll move in to the Scotia North Division. I think that's what it's called. And the big matchup everyone's talking about, obviously, Edmonton, Winnipeg.
I knew you were gonna say that too.
Who do
I
you
was like, no
have?
way he's starting with Habs and Leafs.
Who do you have
So
between
I have-
Edmonton and Winnipeg?
I have the Oilers winning in 6.
I have the Jets.
See the Jets. That's the thing. They
I have the
could
Jets
win,
in 7
but
because like I don't believe I said I originally had Calgary and Montreal upsetting Toronto and Edmonton. So I've subbed out Calgary for Winnipeg, and I'm hoping that philosophy still holds true.
I just think Edmonton and Toronto are on a crash course to play each other.
Montreal and Winnipeg are on a crash course. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the first. I think that's the first
Or-
match of me and you had
Wrong.
differently.
Well, I
Yeah.
no, I am the Wild one, but
You had Wild winning.
I have the Wild winning if it's Vegas.
Oh wow. Okay.
Adam at Edmonton winning against Winnipeg. Adam's just really low on Winnipeg. We've learned that.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a good series. I think Winnipeg, they won their last game, which is good. If they can beat the Leafs tomorrow, they'll have some kind of momentum going in. Hellebuck's a great goalie. They have the goaltending advantage. The defense is kind of iffy on both sides, apart from Nurse. Really, I don't believe Barry's a good defender. So
I don't think anyone does, but
then when Edmonton has the 2 stars, but Winnipeg has the overall better forward group, so it'll be interesting.
it's a good series. I think it'll be high scoring too.
I don't know. Like, see, Winnipeg can't have that. Winnipeg has to win these low scoring games.
Yeah, but I don't know
It's all gonna depend on our boy Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah, but Johnny, stop rambling on. We got to get to the Leafs and Habs.
This is where the podcast might drag on. This one will be the longest prediction.
We both know I do have the Habs.
Yeah, Adam has that Leafs too, because Leafs. I don't know, Adam. I'm disappointed in that pick. I thought you'd have Montreal just for us, but great series ahead, I feel.
Oh man, it's not gonna feel real to me until I'm watching hype videos an hour before. They're showing the hype videos on Sportsnet or whatever, or I'm watching them on YouTube like an hour before the game.
I just hope it feels as good as it will, like with no fans.
That's the thing, man. This is like, the good thing is we play in the Atlantic and we both have bright futures, so I'm confident we'll see this matchup again in the future with fans.
When Boston falls off.
Even if it's in the 3rd round, which would be even better. But Listen, it's going to be a good series,
Great series.
regardless, because I've kind of, I don't know about you, but I've kind of gotten used to hockey without fans now that I've gotten back to the energy with with fans. I think the arenas have done a good job with the sound effects of fans and stuff like that. The players are still hyped, so that's what matters. Obviously, they would be more hyped with fans, the energy, the loudness of the building, but regardless, the players are going as hard as they can.
The only thing I'd say I'd be concerned about is I'm just nervous that it won't feel like playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to when
I know what
playoffs
you mean.
start normally, you can see the difference. You can feel the difference in the atmosphere. I'm nervous that especially during game one, I might feel like I'm still just watching a regular season game.
Yeah, I felt that last year.
Yeah, but that's why last year was unique. So that's why I'm not counting it in the same. I think there needs to be a spark in game one. Something needs to happen right away where it signifies this is a playoff series.
Yeah. I hope Habs and Leafs always open up with scoring. I hope we just open it up first period, no scoring. It's just hard hockey.
The Habs and the Leafs score their first shot. One of them always scores their first shot.
Yeah, no, the Leafs and Habs always score in the first 5 minutes against each other.
Yeah, it's always the first. It's always the first. One of us always scores the first shot too.
Yeah, mostly the first shot. So I have the Leafs. What were you gonna say? I don't want to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say sometimes they both score the first shot and it's 1-1 after 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's what
happened twice this year.
Yeah. So I could see this going. I have the Leafs winning. I could see this going any amount of games. I just want to put that out there before I say how many games I think. I could see this going any amount of games just because I admit you never know what you're getting with the Leafs in the playoffs. But I want to be optimistic here. I've backed them up the whole year. I think this year's different. Something about the team just feels different. I think the Leafs go in there and make a statement and shut it out in 5 games. I think we win the first 2, then you guys win, and then we win the last 2. I think it's going to be something like that. I feel like the games will be close. Nothing's going to be shut out, but I think the Leafs have even against Montreal this year, I think we have a 7-3 record or something. I think we've proven that we're the better team at holding a close game lead or something, or even coming back from even trailing a game and coming back. So that's why I think in the playoffs, both teams will be healthy for the first time in a while. But I think when both teams are the most healthy they could be, I think the Leafs are the better team by far, just because of the depth we have. I think Nash was a big addition. He was practicing on the third line, so that's going to be a shutdown line. If you throw that line out against your top line, Montreal doesn't really have one good scoring line, but I think you leave Matthews and Tavares. You leave them to run around and do damage. So.
Well, the nose line will be against Matthews, so it'll be top line against top line because we're going to match that.
Yeah. I don't know. The Habs just, like I said before, they don't have a star player, and I think you need that in the playoffs. And even just their other players that are fringe star players, a lot of them go on cold droughts. I could say Domi, Drouin. Well, Domi's not on the team, but in the past, in the playoffs, Domi last year, Drouin. Anderson was kind of on a rough streak towards the end of this season. Kotkaniemi has been too. For the Montreal to beat the Leafs, every player has to produce on the score sheet. That's the only way I see Habs winning.
We will see.
Unless Price just completely pulls Korpisalo.
I have full faith in Carey Price.
Yeah, Merziklus.
Carey Price is a different beast in the playoffs. We saw last year that he still turns up in the playoffs. The only reason I'm somewhat nervous maybe about Price is that he's coming off the concussion. So that's a little iffy. But if it was full faith in Carey Price in the playoffs, I don't have the stat. I had it last year during the bubble, but it's 20 something games now, I think, where he's let 3 or less goals in a playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't let 3 or more goals in 20 something games. He's just a different beast. I saw that I think Montreal will win the series purely based on goaltending. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit of a bold take here, but I think Jack Campbell will not be the Leafs goalie by the end of the playoffs. I think
by the end of the series, if you have
that's what I'm saying. The series
there is a back-to-back game, so that's gonna be interesting.
That's where I'm going with this. I think it'll go 7, but I think Montreal's gonna value game 1. And I think Montreal's going to come out and give game one everything, win game one. I don't know, and that'll rattle Campbell a little. But I think the second half of the back-to-back, I think Anderson will play well. And I think he'll take the net from there because I think Campbell would have looked iffy through the first 3 games. Because the thing is, Campbell has not had – he's had that little stretch, but he has had no real adversity. So we don't know how it's going to be. And like we said, we're kind of with Washington, playoffs is a different beast. I think it helps him that there's no Bell Center crowd because like I've seen firsthand, like I've gone to playoff games, we get on the other goalie. Like we probably like Lindback probably still has nightmares. Like I think Campbell's going to have an iffy round. So I think Montreal will win the series in the Blue Crease. It's my prediction. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how Montreal won the series last year against Pittsburgh in the Blue Crease, where Jari came in for Murray and it was iffy, and like Price shut the door.
Maybe. Like I'm not gonna say no because you never know, anything could happen. But I have a lot of faith in Jack Campbell. I don't know, not just because his record, like it's like 17-2-2, so that's incredible. Obviously, he's not going to carry over to the playoffs, but like a lot of goalies that have been in his situation, like Binnington or Matt Murray, like a lot of kind of breakout goalies carry it into the playoffs. I think just his mentality, I think he'll be able to survive playoff hockey.
See, I don't think he has the best mentality. Like he gets on himself so much when he loses. That's why I think like so I'm saying like me and my dad and saying like we could just light him up in game 1. And then even like score a couple in game 2, like I think he'd be on himself.
He's on himself, but I think he's on himself in a good way. Like he just wants the best out of himself, and he shows up. But the Leafs also do play better in front of him than they play in front of Anderson. I don't know why, but just the energy Jack Campbell brings. Like I think his energy is just built for the playoffs, and I think that's what we're gonna see. But
we'll see. Like
how many games?
I have the Montreal winning in 7.
7, dude. 7 would be insane. Like my heart would not be able to take game 7.
But like another reason, like people might think I'm biased, but like I've seen Montreal pull off some serious upsets. Like not even like just the Pittsburgh one. Like throughout my lifetime, like we squeaked into the playoffs in 2010 by a point, and then we beat Washington, the President's Trophy, and then we beat Pittsburgh, the reigning Stanley Cup champions. We also swept Tampa when they were the higher seed in 2013, and then beat Boston in 7, the President's Trophy winner.
Because you guys are always the underdogs too. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen Montreal single-handedly pull off upsets, like in my lifetime.
You've never had star forwards. It's always been on the back end and
like that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen goaltending carry us. Like I've seen Halak carry us. I've seen Price carry us. Like that's why I'm confident that Price will be able to carry us. Like, trust me, I don't have Montreal winning the cup, but I have Montreal at least coming out of the North. Like I'll say that. Like I see goal. Like we have a. Plus, like how everyone said before, the Montreal's playoff bill, like I'm not as pessimistic as some other fans are. Like I have confidence in the team. Honestly, like in my lifetime, the series Montreal's lost are the series that they're favored. They do better when they're the underdog. In my last 10 years, they lost to Ottawa in the short and lockout season when they were like the 2 seed, and then they lost to the Rangers when they won the Atlantic, and even they lost to Tampa when they won the Atlantic. They do better when they're the underdog, I find, and I think that's why I think. One thing I'll say is people that say it's going to be a sweep, I don't think that will be the case, that this might get clipped, but I don't think I've ever seen Montreal lose a series in less than 5 games in my lifetime.
I don't know. Montreal
always takes it at least. Montreal always takes it at least 6 or 7. Like
I just don't think the Leafs let it go to 7 again. I think it's 5 or 6 games. But
if it goes to 7, I'd be so confident.
Yeah, I wouldn't be confident.
Especially if it's Montreal that wins a game 6 to force game 7, I'd be so confident.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm confident this year, though. I don't know. I feel
well, we'll see. You got to be confident. Like I don't care if you're Nashville. You as a fan, you have to be confident.
Yeah, you have to be confident.
You have to say bold stuff. You have to get yourself hyped up. So that's why, even if Montreal loses this, it's whatever. Like I'm getting myself hyped right now. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Let's move on because this is getting long as hell.
So now we'll talk about that mulligan I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna read you your 4 division, like the guys that come out of the division, and you tell me if you want to change any. You have the Leafs coming out. I'm assuming that stays.
Yeah.
You have Boston coming out.
I had Pittsburgh.
You changed that to Pittsburgh?
No, I had them.
No, you had Boston. I have it.
I have them now.
So you've used them out again?
Oh, okay. That's how we're doing it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm reading you your first.
Okay, yeah. Read them all.
You tell me if you want me to change. So the Leafs you're keeping. You're switching Boston for Pittsburgh. Are you keeping Tampa?
I have Tampa, yeah.
And are you keeping Colorado?
I have Colorado's. Wow. So
So,
my thing at the beginning is what I
so
have
Michael
now,
has used
except
one mulligan.
yeah, I think Boston. I mean, I think Pittsburgh comes out of that.
Adam doesn't get a say on if he's using a actually no, he does because he sent his predictions. 1 second. Uh Adam had Calgary coming out of the north, so mandatory mulligan there. He now has Edmonton coming out of the north, sticking with Alberta. And then he had the Islanders coming out of the east. He had them losing in the first round now, so he's changed to Pittsburgh mulligan there. He still has now he has actually the Panthers coming out ahead of Carolina, so he's changed all three.
Wow.
And he still has the Avs coming out of the west. So Adams just 3 mulligans. I have Montreal still coming out of the north, same as before. Confident. I think they'll lose in the conference finals, but have them coming out of the north. I had Philly coming out of the east, so mandatory mulligan there, going with Pittsburgh. Central, I'm keeping it with Tampa, and west, I'm keeping it with Colorado.
So we have the same picks except Leafs and Habs.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone picked their own team.
Who is your cup winner?
That's what I was gonna say. Would you at start season you had the Leafs,
and I still do. Go Leafs, go baby.
I had Colorado at the start. I'm keeping Colorado.
It's always a good pick.
I feel like Colorado's gross, and Adam picked Colorado as well.
The thing is, dude, if Leafs end up going against Colorado, Nazim, I'm sorry, buddy. I love you, but we gotta beat you.
He's gonna kill you guys.
Simmons has to drop him. I'm sorry. That's gonna be like the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life, but has to happen.
He's going to kill you guys if it's a series. He's gonna light you up on the scoreboard.
He's gonna be their best player for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna light you up. No doubt in my mind.
Imagine a Leafs in Boston like that. That's why this year is good too, because it's reseeding, so anything could happen. Like
I would love a Montreal Boston Stanley Cup final. Little 1979 action. Last time we played the Leafs in the playoffs. Last time we played Boston in the final. Did you see what happened last time?
Apparently, every time the Leafs and Habs have met up in the playoffs, the winner has always gone on to win the cup.
Yeah, because that's because when there was 16s.
Yeah, I know.
You had a great chance of that. It was probably in the finals all the time. It's probably the first time they played in the first round.
Yeah.
Because in 79, they played in the second round.
Oh, was it the second round?
Yeah, I saw because the TSN Montreal coverage did a little thing on it. We swept you guys. Game 4 overtime winner by Larry Robinson on the power play.
Your boy Larry.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I think that'll wrap it up here. This is probably another long one. This is why, man, we need Adam here to keep us on track. We rambled on really long when we were talking about the season. But yeah, we'll probably keep up these podcasts once a week. We'll probably move it to Friday maybe, because by Tuesday
we might be able to do more frequent ones.
Yeah, we might do it more frequently. If anything, me and Michael said we might just hop on after Hab Leaf games and kind of review the game if me and Michael are on speaking terms.
So look out for that. Yeah, if me and Johnny are still friends after game 1. Whoever's listening, this has been a long time coming. Me and Johnny have ripped on each other about Leafs and Habs. Like, Leafs and Habs have basically built our friendship in grade 2.
Yeah, and now we're just like, it's going down.
It's going down, man. Like, okay, there's no words. It doesn't feel real, but
no doubt in my mind, especially because we're in university. So like, it's not like we would be in school if it was high school. No doubt in my mind, if this was like fans in the building, we would be going to at least one Toronto and one Montreal game. Like
100%.
No doubt in my mind, we'd be splurged, especially too because like we're at that age now where you can drink at sporting events. We would be going to these games and just having a good time, but now we can't.
Yeah. Yep. COVID.
But it's okay. We don't watch.
The cool thing is, the winner of the North is finally going to get to see play in front of some fans, because
might be a shock to the system.
Every American team is going to have fans.
Might just be a shock to the system, honestly.
Yeah, but we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, we'll probably, by the time we hop on the podcast next time, it'll probably be midway through the series. Adam will probably be back, and we'll update you from there. There's a little burp there.
Yeah, we'll end it on a burp. Yeah. Okay.
See you, boys.